Hello guys, so today I'll show you how can you have reproducible build environments with Nix. So we'll create our custom Nix shell. So I'm in an empty directory. There is nothing there. I just created this before the video, and we'll create an example OCaml project. OCaml projects are like quite niche, but I really like the language, and in some places tooling it might be harder to install. I had problems like dealing with opam package manager for OCaml switches. Like sometimes it's not easily reproducible and everything, so I'll just set up everything with Nix. So I'll do it with the Nix shell. I'll create file shell Nix, and I'll create like a basic bare bone of a file. So this is basically Nix shell without any packages, and we'll use our system packages. And now I can run this Nix shell Nix, and this is just empty shell. We didn't install anything. It's not any interesting, right? So I don't have OCaml now. Well, I could get it with Nix shell -p OCaml, but I just want to run this one Nix shell, and that's it. I want to have my build environment. So first things first, we'll install the OCaml. So I add it to my Nix shell. I'll just execute Nix shell again, and I should have OCaml interpreter. Okay, I have it. Let's try creating like expression. Let b equals 2 and return a plus b. Yeah, so everything works. Right, so this is like the base bread and butter that will be our shell. And another thing I like, so here it's using system Nix packages. I personally don't like just using operating system packages, so we'll just use a custom pinned version by a checksum so that it always works. Right, so instead of this pkg's import, I'll import 22.11. As you see, this is a checksum. This will always be perfectly reproducible, and I will always get only this version of Nix packages. So even if I upgrade my operating system and everything, I'll always get the same version of Nix. So let's try shell now, and we should see OCaml. Well, as you see now, OCaml version is a little different because I pinned the exact package version, right? So now since I have these packages, now of course OCaml has a build system. I need to add other dependencies like Dune to create a project in OCaml. Dune is the standard thing to create standard build system in OCaml. And basically I also will need to add some stuff for IntelliSense later, but first of all we'll create a project. So now I have Dune, and if I enter Nix shell, then I should have Dune executable. Okay, so Dune is here. So I'll just init this project right here, create some example, and now we have example directory. And if I run Dune exec, it should run the project. Okay, so it runs hello world now. So as we can see in bin main, there's only this line that just prints hello world. So now at this point I'd like to develop this fully fledged, but I'm still missing some things, namely I can't add any package, third-party package, and very rarely you need applications that just exist in a vacuum. To do something interesting, you need OCaml packages. So let's write an example application that will fetch example com from the internet and print that to the std out console. So obviously we'll need OCaml packages. And I have it all prepared. So this find lib, you need this for OCaml developer. That's how OCaml finds libraries. This is a syntax extension so that we write single threaded, like code that looks single threaded, but it's doing all sorts of AST stuff. Think of this like, if you know Rust, this is async in Rust, if you would. This is HTTP library, which we will use to make the HTTP requests to the internet. Merlin is like IntelliSense for OCaml. This is how you get nice code completion, everything. OCP indent, it's code formatting. And this is a language server, right? So we can have all of our development environments in this tiny shell Nix file. So now we will not have IntelliSense, right? So to have IntelliSense, for instance, we can use Visual Studio Code, and I'll create VS Code config here, that VS Code. And we need settings JSON. I use a plugin for VS Code like that loads this Nix environment. So I'll just tell to use this shell Nix, and I can open this with Codium. Nix and selector. This is functionality of a plugin. I have it already installed. And this will be workspace root shell.nix, right? So this file will simply allow me just to open a Codium and everything should work, and I should be able to develop everything. So let's open Codium and see if it works. I open this. Oh, I need to initialize. Yeah, I initialize Git repository here so it would know where the root is. Let's open Codium, and yeah, I trust the authors, everything, yada yada yada, and now we should have, oh, couldn't create connection to the server, wait a sec, did it load the environment? It should load, okay, applying environment, so now we need to reload, so now it will use our Nix shell environment, and if I open the main ML, we should get our code. So if I run like string, okay, so IntelliSense works. So we have everything that we need, right, for developing. So now let's develop our small application that will fetch stuff from the internet. So I'll just need to open HTTP LVT Unix. Oh, I didn't add library to the Dune, so I need to add this library also so that we can use it. So I believe this is HTTP LVT Unix. I believe we need this library, or otherwise we can't open it. Yeah, so this is the library, and we need also a syntax extension so that we can write single threaded code. So this is Dune specific stuff. PPS LVT PPX. So things should work. I'm not sure if OCaml will reload this. Okay, so I have IntelliSense prepared, so I just need to open HTTP LVT Unix. Then I'll write a small function to get our example site. Should take us real quick, and we'll use LVT syntax extension to get the body. Client apt get URI of string, and let's get example.com as body. Okay, now we'll wait for the body. This is like async functions in OCaml. I'm doing like with let LVT, I'm doing like a wait in Rust to wait for its evaluation, so I can write single threaded code, but it's very efficient. And we'll just print the body after we got it a string, and we return LVT return unit, right? So, and what we'll simply do is get example. Now we need LVT runtime, of course, we'd reuse this if this was like serious app serving web requests, and things should work. So yeah, so as you can see, IntelliSense works, everything should be good. So now what we can do is just Dune exec example, and we should see example site. And after building, yeah, so that's it, everything works. And of course I really like OCaml because it's compile time safety. So if I do something like, I don't know, some nonsense one, of course it's read already, but if I tried to compile this, then it also wouldn't work. If I do like this, then of course it's a syntax error and stuff. So you write script like programs, but things work, right? So yeah, so that's my short video. Long story short, we created a shellnix file that has all of our dependencies. Everything's locked. This can only be one version. We declared all the OCaml libraries that we'll need for this project. We need to add them here if it doesn't work. We created a Dune project. This was entirely generated. And yeah, we added Dune libraries here that we will use, and syntax extension, and that is our main source file that does the website. So yeah, so this is my video. This has been David from Trivial Solutions IO. I hope this shown how Nix can be useful in development to have reproducible build environments, and I see you in the next video. Bye.